Everybody, thank you for subscribing. Those of you that have subscribed, I want to thank everybody that's been watching these videos. Share them, please, especially the speeches. If they can inspire somebody, I would definitely like for those words to reach that person. And like I said, if you know anybody that's going through visual impairment, going through the process of losing their sight, and they need some help, show this link to them. Feel free to have them contact me. So today I'm wanting to talk about things that bother me with this adjustment, things that happen to me on a daily basis that I'm having a hard time adjusting to. And that's going to be being ignored. Being ignored when you go out to eat, being ignored when you walk in somewhere. It's a hard thing to swallow. It's hard to process why people would do that to you when you can hear, you can listen, you can talk. Just because I can't see doesn't mean I can't hear you. It doesn't mean that you can't acknowledge me. I'll give you guys a small example. When we go out to eat, the waiter or waitress always tends to ask the people that are with me what I would like to drink or what I would like to eat. As if I don't exist or as if I can't hear them. It's hard to accept that. It's hard to accept that society is like that. And it's hard to accept that people look at me in a different way. That's the hardest part. One of the hardest parts of this process is that it's mind blowing. It saddens me at times, and other times I understand why people do that. But if you ever see a person that's blind and they're there, acknowledge them, please. Give them a hello, a good day. Let them know that your hand is extended. Say, hey, my hand's out, and we'll shake it. I have a lot of that. That goes on too, where I go out and people are introducing me, and I put my hand out, and they don't ever put their hand out. I guess they think blind people can't shake hands. It's one of the hard parts of this transition. Another part of the transition that's hard is going out in public. Going out in public with new people that don't know what's going on with me and having to explain to them what's going on with my sight, where I'm at, where I've been. You know, that gets tiresome at times. And when I go out, I try to avoid those times when I'm not feeling well, when I'm not feeling like talking about it, when I just want to go have a good time. I try to avoid going around places where there'll be a lot of new people for that reason. It gets annoying. There's a lot of silly questions that get asked, and a lot of the times there's a lot of good questions that get asked, but I'm just tired of answering them. I've answered them hundreds of times. So a lot of the times my friends ask me to go out somewhere, and I'll ask them who's going or who's going to be at their house, and I know it bothers them when I don't go, but they have a bunch of new people coming over, and I just don't feel like talking about it at times. You know, I think that's a hard part of this disease, or any disease that you have, or any disability or difference that you may have when you meet new people, is a barrage of questions. It's just getting hit with them all the time, and if you don't answer them, you're rude. And so I rather avoid those situations at times. When I'm in a great mood and I feel like being out and talking about it, sure, I definitely answer them, and it doesn't bother me, but I recognize those times. And when I am feeling down or upset, I just don't go out, and I don't have to answer these questions. So I'm going to go into this last part of this segment, and I'm going to give you guys a few questions that people ask me that tend to get annoying. They tend to upset me at times, depending on my mood. The first question is going to be, haven't you done your research? There must be more that they can do for you. You can't just be going blind with all the technology that's out there. And I answer nicely, and I tell them, no, I've done my homework, and we've checked, and yes, this is all they've done. I mean, the state has done all they could, the hospitals, and I got sent to a blind school, and I've learned Braille, and I've learned to deal with it and accept it. It's what's happening. It's inevitable. In reality, I want to just answer them and be a rude ass, but I would say something like, oh, of course. No, I've never checked. I've just accepted it. I'm going blind. it is what it is. I don't care about my eyesight. It can leave. I don't care. I'm just happy with the way things are. Of course, I've checked. So that's one of the questions that gets annoying. The other question that gets annoying is, how do I count my steps? How do I remember the number of steps it takes me to get somewhere? And that gets annoying. Then I get into explaining the whole thing with, I went to the blind school. They've taught me how to use my ears, how to use the feel, the sense of there's a building next to me. And as you start going blind, all these senses heighten. And that's why I have a cane. I don't have to count steps. I rely on my competency and my ability to still walk this earth and get myself to and from places. Sighted people rely on your sight, and when that's taken away, you rely on other senses. So I don't count my steps. Never have. Another one is, it's hard to count your steps if you're having a conversation with somebody at the store, or if you're walking to your car. So counting my steps, that's a stupid question. I hate being asked. One of the silliest questions that I've been asked is, how do I shower? And I can't imagine anybody out there has never taken a shower, been in there and closed your eyes as you're showering. That's how I shower. It's just like if you were to close your eyes and you were to take a shower. It's real easy. You go in, turn the water on, you lather up, scrub, you rinse. Shower just like everybody else does, you guys. One of the other ones that really gets annoying and it kind of gets offensive is when people ask me, would you rather be deaf? And if I were to be honest and answer them in all honesty at the time and be rude, I would say, I'd rather you be mute at this time than me be deaf or blind. But the honest answer to that would be, I'd rather be none. I'd rather not be losing my sight, and I hope to God I never go deaf. But I hate being asked that question. It's so ridiculous, you guys. Kind of gets offensive at times. And the number one question that I do get asked a lot, and the number one question that I'm sure a lot of blind people get asked, I've even seen some memes about it, is, how do I know when to stop wiping my ass after I go number 2? That's the big question. Everyone always asks me that. And well, I finish wiping when I'm done wiping, just like you. It's that simple. I mean, if you can't figure out that you're not wet somewhere, or that you can stop wiping, there's something wrong with you. It's real easy. You just wipe until it's clean. That's the short end of that answer. So those are some of the things that offend me, get me upset as I go out in public or as I meet new people. So don't ask those questions, you guys, at least not to me. Like I said, I don't speak for the whole blind community. I speak for this blind man only. But those are the questions that really do get annoying. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Tune in. There'll be more coming up. The next segment's going to be on how to make an electrical lighter out of using 2 razor blades and a AA battery. What brought up this idea was my brother gave me a Tesla lighter over the holidays. And it's electrical, and you can charge it with a USB port. And it made me remember on how I would light my cigarettes when I was in prison. So that's our next segment. I hope you guys like this one. Please tune in, share, subscribe, and there'll be more to come. Hope you guys have a great day. See you later.